And welcome back to the Diamond Download. Chase, what's your name again, man? It's been so long, I can't even
It's
remember.
been so long, I forgot how to even record this thing, bro. Good to see you. You're back in the homeland?
I'm back in the motherland, yes, in the six. Feeling good about it. Honestly, I miss this place. I am looking at cribs in Toronto. I found one. It's like 8,500 bucks a month, and it's like basically the equivalent to what I have in Miami, but here in Toronto. Because this place is like it's like an old lady apartment. Like
Do you
there's
use it enough, like, where it makes sense to get a whole new place?
I will.
Okay,
I'm planning on spending a lot more time in Toronto.
cool.
I decided the night I got back, I told myself I want dual city motion because I've done very well in Miami. I'm very proud of like, the circle I built up and the connections I've made and the places that I kind of have like locked down and all kinds of stuff, right? But in Toronto, I don't really have that. Even though it's my hometown, I should have it. And there's a lot of people who are like, "Oh, what's going on in Toronto?" I'll be like, "I have no idea. I don't even go there." And so I want to spend next year kind of like building up what I have in Miami, but here. And I think it starts with a baller crib. So I'm gonna go
That's
see it
sick.
tomorrow. Actually, it's gonna be cool.
Do you think you lose that in Miami when you don't spend as much time there? Like, do you think, like, if you split focus and you go all in on dominating Toronto, do you think you lose that in Miami, or you think you keep it?
No, there's plenty of people that have, like, New York and Miami or, like, LA and New York. There's a lot of people that can, like, do both. I think you just have to pack so much when you're there that it's like that you're just memorable, you know what I mean? So and
For
I plan
sure.
on doing that. I feel very dialed. Before we get to the topics, I just tweeted, I've been in flow state for, like, 3 weeks. I think 2 weeks ago, when we did our last podcast, I told you about how, like, the last 10 days I've just been on. It hasn't left, dude. I feel amazing. It's crazy. So how do you feel? Do you feel good about Q4, about everything, business, personal, whatever?
Yeah, dude, things have been crazy. Mostly good, but things have been crazy. Like, the business I started with Jimmy's doing really, really well. No complaints. Everything's kinda hitting. So, I wouldn't say
Awesome.
I'm in the flow state. I'm not in any different state, but, like, things are gelling, which is nice.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. So, it's been a while. The first one is I wanted to recap sort of the mastermind because we did an episode on like how to run an awesome event, and I think we did just that. So I want to kind of tell you about kind of how it went down, and I think what we can plan on for the next one. So I had people flying in Thursday night. So I had a lot of the coaches there, and then like some of the VIPs flying in on Thursday, a lot, and then everyone else kind of came in Friday morning. But
So
like
real quick, so to set the scene, this was specifically for kinda your coaching, your mastermind type group. This was for your private group. You threw an event in Miami from Thursday through Saturday, through Sunday?
it was Friday to it was just Friday and Saturday,
Friday,
but it
Saturday.
was for
Okay,
the
okay. Got it.
inner circle students only. We had two tiers. It
Okay.
was gold at 297 and then VIP at 1297. And we had I think 40 or 50 people in gold and then 15 that was our we sold that out for VIP.
Amazing. So
So,
sorry to cut you off. So Thursday, people started coming in.
uh-huh. And so but yeah, so my core team came in, like Abby and Hannah. Hannah's like one of my head coaches and Abby's my EA. They flew in from Toronto, and so we went out for a couple of drinks, and then when other students and coaches started coming in, they were all having a party in Griffin's hotel room. Griffin is my brother, and he's, like, the main coach, and, and so we walked in there, and there's like 12 people in this tiny little room, and so I was, like, meeting everybody. There was a couple people that I hadn't met before, like, some of the people that, like, have just been around for a long time inside Inner Circle. Next day, woke up slightly hungover, and headed over to East Hotel for the mastermind. So we hired an event coordinator, like an event person for this entire thing. Thank God, because I could not have done this myself. Her name is Tara Delano. Shout out if you're watching this. She's not. But she was able to get us East Hotel. So from 12 or no, sorry, I guess it would have been from 1 to 4:30. It was like the 38th floor in a hotel. And I thought it was gonna be like the Hilton where it's just like a shitty like conference room. It was not, dude. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
It
it
was
looks
like
sick.
yeah, so we had a button on the elevator that said CopyMBA because it's one of those elevators where you have to press the button, it tells you what elevator to go to.
Cool.
So you would press the CopyMBA button and it brings you up to the 38th floor. You come out the elevator, you have all of our merch that we were just giving away to people, like the Rich Off Writing hoodies. Um,
Sick.
and then if you go to the right, there's like a sort of like a dining room where everyone was like just kinda there was like sandwiches and like desserts like sort of along the wall and like a coffee and tea station. And, so we were kinda just like that was like us meeting everybody, just sort of like getting to know each other, networking a little bit. And so we did that for like 30-ish to an hour. And then we went into like the other side, the left side, which was like the mastermind room. It was just a bunch of chairs and a stage and a mic. And it was I spoke first and I did my little talk. Everyone got fired up. And then Jeremy
Nice.
Haynes came in, who's like my mentor, who I think is a genius. I talk all the time about Jeremy Haynes. I think he's the fucking man. And he like so I'm gonna try not to make this segment too long because there's just so much I want to tell you. I asked him to do a talk, and when he usually does these talks, it's either really tactical or it's like a get richer talk. And the get richer talks are basically him yelling at people who are only making 1 to 200K a month, asking why they're not 10xing. They're not, why aren't you at a million a month? Why aren't you at 5 million a month? Because he's there so he can do that. And like a lot of times it's just people being lazy, they need to be fired up. And he asked me, I was like, "Dude, a get richer talk for 100%." And he was like, "Are you sure?" Because I told him like all these kids are like under 20K a month, and then a lot of them are under 10K a month. He's like, "They're gonna hate me." I'm like, "I don't care. They need to hear this. I want to broaden their horizons." And so he goes in. He's not bullying them for not being at a million a month, but he is like making people think like a little bit bigger. And he talked for like an hour. It was only supposed to be 30 minutes, but he talked for a full hour about like ways that you can sort of like position your mind to like make more money. It was like it was masterful. People kept talking about it. Like I'm still getting messages like, dude, I'm channeling Jeremy Haynes right now. I'm trying to get rich. And I was like, yep, that's how it should be.
That's
And
sick.
then so we wrapped that. Griff spoke after that. He did a talk. And then we went shopping with it was like me and a couple of the coaches, and Saks Fifth was doing a giveaway where if you spent enough money, you get like a lot of gift cards. And so we spent enough where we had 2 gift cards. One was $700 and one was $500.
Wow.
So great deal. And we were like, okay, we're gonna give these away tonight at the dinner. So we had the big dinner for everybody at Nikki Beach, which is like on the main, it's like south of 6 in Miami Beach, like beautiful area. We go in there. This is a nice restaurant. We booked the whole thing out. It was all for us. We had a
Wow.
DJ. They had welcome drinks. You know how they hand you drinks at the door?
Yeah,
They had welcome drinks that had like a little CopyMBA sort of melty in there. It had
that's
our
sick.
logo. It had our logo like in the drinks. And then there was like this big massive projection of our logo on the wall again. Open bar. And I'm so stupid. I was like, dude, open bar. This is sick. I realized I'm paying for it. It's not an open bar. It's on my credit card, but I was still excited because it was technically free at the point of sale. And, and then so I'm going around, I'm interviewing everybody, I'm mic'd up the entire time. Everybody eats, we're hanging out for a little bit. I was drunk, and so I'm on the mic just, like, irresponsibly, like, giving money away and shit like that. I said I gave away the 2 gift cards to these 2 students that, like, it was just randomly generated. And then I said, at the next place we were gonna go was this bar called 8th Street,
Okay.
and everyone was gonna go there. I said, "All drinks on me. I'm gonna have a whole tab," for like 70 people, because my sales guys are there too. It's probably closer to 80. I was like,
Jeez.
"Whoever guesses the number closest to what the total actually is, like, I'll give you $1,000." I don't think we actually got any responses, but it was like 5 grand. So we sent everybody over to 8th Street, this bar, and then next day, woke up, it was VIP day. So we had the boat for the VIPs, and then we had the dinner at Delilah, so just like a handful of us. And then, nobody wanted to go out after that because everyone was tired. But me and my squad, we went to this place called Socialista. It kinda sucked. But yeah, no, that was the whole weekend. Then Sunday, shot ads with Abby and stuff. I don't know if you saw those.
Yeah,
The
I was gonna
content.
tell you those are great. I like the kind of interview style. It seems very laid back, but helpful. I like that. What so obviously it's clear for me like what the takeaway for the students was, right? Like just inspirational, great to connect, just eye-opening. For you, like what was the benefit for you? Like was it the testimonials you got? Was it like people just being there and then now they're advocates for Copy MBA Inner Circle? Like what do you think you got out of it?
I realized that I really like doing events, and I had this sort of mindset where, like, when I was going into it, I was like, "This has to be the biggest event ever, like, it has to be amazing." Because, like, there are some other programs that do events like this, and I was like, "Well, I don't wanna be worse than them." But then I realized that this is our first one. We've never done
Yeah.
an event before. We have no idea what there was a lot of mistakes, like, small, silly mistakes that we made, like, just, like, logistical stuff. Didn't harm anybody, it was just like, "Oh, fuck, I wish we thought of that." Stuff like that, right? And now that we know that, I feel like because now there's hype too. So like all the people that went to this one are gonna talk about how great the next one's gonna be. And so it's gonna be even bigger. And like I honestly think it'll be like I want to continue to do this. I want to do maybe 2 or 3 next year. I want to keep them
Nice.
special. Um but yeah, because I like connecting with the students. They're cool. Like they're all, decent people. They're all smart. Um, and, uh, and for them, it's like, yeah, they get more bought in. You know what I mean? Like when you meet each other in person, when you meet me and the coaches, like they realize like, oh, all of this is more real than just like a Slack group on a computer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sick. How so obviously, right, like, it sounds like based off your pricing and based off how much you spent, you didn't make money, right? You probably lost money.
No,
Maybe you
I
broke
lost
even, but
a
you probably
lot.
lost money, right?
I lost a lot. Yeah.
So how do you think about doing, like, 2 or 3 next year with that mindset? Like, do you just do it differently where you try to break even, or you just these are things that are gonna run at a loss, and that's just part of the community?
Ideally would like to break even.
Okay.
But I considered a lot of this sort of like personal spending, where it's like I didn't have to go and buy everyone drinks at the bar. I would have done that if it wasn't an inner circle event and just like all of my students happened to be in the same room. I was like, oh fuck it, let's go to the bar. Like put it
Yeah.
on me. You know what I mean? And so I considered like I guess technically we broke even. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, for it to be a viable model, like I have to and like maybe we do one where it's like non inner circle students come and then maybe we upsell so, like, if you wanna buy at the event, then you could do that, and then we actually make money. Um, but I don't know, I think it's just a good brand building play, and I think it's good for content too, like, we're gonna have a video come out in a little bit that, like, you know, that sort of shows everyone what we do,
Cool.
and it will ROI at some point. I'm not really worried about
Nice, dude, that's awesome. Glad it went well.
that.
What do you wanna talk about next? What was the second topic?
Um, okay, so let's skip past the second one for a sec and go to the building on threads thing. So I want to hear you talk about kind of what you've been doing. We talked briefly about this before, but tell me what you're kind of working on these days with threads of all platforms.
Yeah, I know I was asking if you've been doing anything. Everyone I asked if they're doing anything, no one is doing anything on Threads. Like, no one is talking about Threads, no one's thinking about Threads. But I was actually on Threads the other day and I saw Zuck post something that like, dude, I think they've added like over 1 million users a day every day of this month. So every day of November, they've added more than 1 million new signups. I think they have more than 250 million active monthly users. So that they probably have a lot. I don't know, maybe they have a couple hundred more million users than that, but a quarter of a billion people are actually logging in and using it to some degree, at least monthly. So I don't know. I feel like I didn't think much of it at the time. I was just like, oh, it's a Twitter competitor. It's probably gonna be cool for a sec, and then it's gonna probably die out. But dude, the organic reach there is fantastic. Just like any other platform, if you're early, they reward you with reach. So my personal account isn't doing that hot or that amazing, like 20,000 followers. I've probably been posting 3 to 6 months, give or take, consistently. But dude, I'm doing like 500 to 700,000 monthly impressions on it. So not awful. But really what's getting exciting is I'm building like these theme pages. So one's a copywriting account, one's an email marketing account. I'm going to be building a couple others. And those are scaling really quickly. My email account I just made 2 months ago. Dude, it's at like 15,000 followers and it's doing like 1 million views a month. I have a copywriting account I made about 3 to 6 months ago. It's at like 70,000 followers. It's doing like 1 or 2 million a month. So collectively across like my three accounts, dude, that's like 100,000 followers in not that long of time, doing 2, 3 million collective, maybe 4 million collective impressions a month. It's really
That's
interesting.
actually crazy. That's
Yeah,
actually
it's
insane. Like, I
dude,
didn't
insane.
realize that there were 15,000 people on threads. Like,
Yeah, there's a
who
lot of
who are you
people.
finding? Tell me about the demographic. Like, I don't know if you're probably not super like interactive with these people.
Um, I'm
But
actually gonna
yes, kinda
see.
tell me, like, is it mostly, like, people from overseas, or is it a lot of Americans? Do they seem low IQ, normal people?
Yeah,
What do you
okay,
think?
so I'm actually just grabbing my phone. So exact insight. So last 30 days for my personal account, 641,000 views. 160,000 of that was from followers. 480,000 of that was from non-followers. So good amount from followers, right? 20,000 followers, on average, people are seeing it a couple times. A lot from non-followers. Um, it's actually pretty cool. It shows you, like, how many interactions you've had by followers, non-followers. It shows you the number of likes, reposts, replies, quotes. Okay, so by location. So, on my personal account, my top one is the US. It's showing 26%, and then it's India, Indonesia, Philippines, and UK. So each of
Damn.
those has between, like, 4 to 6%. So right between, like, the US and UK, I'm at, like, 30 something percent. I don't know where everyone else is. And then it shows you by age. So most of my followers are 18 to 54. And then by gender, it shows male versus female.
Wait, that's not a demo, that's everybody.
Yeah,
What do
yeah,
you
yeah.
mean?
Well, I mean, it shows like 13 to 17. It shows 55 to 64. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
most of them are in the demo that would be using a phone. You're right.
Yeah, I
But
would say probably most of my followers are between, like, 16 and 97.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, who's your audience? Everyone. So, so some
Yeah, I'm really niching down here.
so some good US, like if I go to my bigger account though, I don't know job titles. Like the nice thing about LinkedIn, for example, is it will show you like job titles and stuff. This one doesn't show like job titles or seniority or anything. Um, okay, another one of my accounts, pretty much the same thing. Mainly US is the biggest one, and then it has, Indonesia, Philippines, India. Let me see their one. I feel like that's kind of like the spread across the board, it seems like. Yeah, all my 3 accounts probably have the same spread. I'm probably doing the same thing, targeting the same audience 3 different times. So it's interesting. And
Hmm,
basically, all I'm doing is I started posting once a day. And then with my account, I'll go like and comment on the others. With the other accounts, I'll go like and comment on mine, right? Kind of created this little mini pod that I own of 3 accounts, which was really kind of boosted for my account initially. And now arguably the other accounts are boosting my personal because they're almost as big, if not, and one's bigger. Now I'm posting 2 to 3 times a day. I'll just post something about marketing, copywriting, email marketing. I'll
mhm.
go in like 4 to 6 hours later and I'll just repost, like retweet essentially the post itself. So that way it kind of comes back to the feed. But that's literally all I'm doing is posting 2 to 3 times a day on each account and using the 3 accounts to kind of like and comment on the other to kind of kickstart it. And it's working really, really well.
Okay, so, um, are you using basically the same content you're using on Twitter?
Yes.
Like,
So my
like,
first,
just
yes.
cloning tweets and putting it on Threads?
Yeah, like, at this point now, all my content goes on all platforms. So I'm basically posting, like, these nice visuals. Those are going on Twitter, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. So I'm basically taking the exact same content and just throwing it on Threads.
Okay. Dude, I think that's so interesting because, like, I think Threads had a initial bump at first and then didn't see anything about it. One thing I do notice though, and this is how I know that like Instagram's still trying to, or Meta's still trying to make Threads a thing, is that they're pretty aggressive on suggesting content from Threads in your notifications. So it'll be
Yes.
like, this person liked your picture, this person followed you, this person just posted on Threads, engage with this shit. And it'll be like someone that I don't even know, but like sometimes it'll be like you'll get the first few words of it, and that's like kind of like the hook. And sometimes I'll be like, huh, what are they saying? And I'll go and check it out. And then do you also like share the threads? Like, are you pushing your threads account on other accounts, or are you just like trying to only grow organically from that one platform?
Yeah, only growing organically on Threads. And it's interesting. So I just looked it up. So as of October 31st, Threads has 275 million monthly active users, which is up from a year ago at the same point, which had 100 million. It has around 33 million daily active. So I mean, dude, there's people are using it. Like, and you're right. Like within Instagram, I'm noticing too that people are they're promoting Threads. Like I kind of scroll and they're like, your friends posted this on Threads.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm only using Threads to grow on Threads, and I mean, yeah, I wish I was better on TikTok. I wish I took advantage of that quicker and sooner. So I'm just like, I don't want to make that mistake. I might as well go really hard. And worst case is nothing happens, but we might be seeing a Threads growth service from me probably the next 6 to 12 months. It's kinda what I'm thinking.
I love it, dude. Hey man, you're not missing shit on TikTok. I'm getting my ass beat these days on TikTok. It's bad.
Are you still posting regularly?
Yes. And I used to be able to like get like between 10 and 30,000 views per video, and I would still complain about that. I'd still be like, "Oh, like this video is flopping. It only hit 20,000 views." Because I was used to like back in the day when I would get like 100,000 automatic.
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
Now it's a grind to get 10,000. I'm like, "Oh, I just got a new phone because like I have a hunch that the phone has something to do with it." And so I'm just trying to like commit more and just go way harder. And I think like maybe just make better content. I think my stuff is good, but, like, the reason I'm going hard on it again is because, we're going back to, consistent Webbies in
Nice.
2025. So, we have one tomorrow, which I think is gonna be great. We're trying paid
Oh,
with it.
nice.
Chase, we have 5,200 people signed up,
All from paid?
registered. Not all from paid, probably, like, 80%.
Wow.
Or no, sorry, no, that's wrong. not 80%. We have a lot of auto registers, so, like, we have people that have signed up in the past, but they consent to be re-added, so
Mm,
if they missed it or something like that, they'll just come and see this one, and then obviously organic too. I got Instagram going, I got TikTok, I got email and SMS is big too, but ads are feeding a lot of this. We're spending like $1,500 a day right now.
wow.
And so it's kind of like a test to see like if this does really well. I mean, even organic websites themselves, like will do between 80 and 150. I think our worst one was like 75, which is like
Wow.
pretty decent. And
Dude,
so,
and this is for inner circle, you're gonna do everyone there, teach them about inner
yeah,
circle, pump
we're
hard. That's
booking
sick.
calls. We're booking calls. And so we're gonna do one more on the 11th of December, and then in January, starting on the 8th, we're going back to bi-weekly.
Wow.
And
Got it, so you need the
we're gonna
traffic from TikTok. You need all channels firing for you.
yeah, so and we're gonna be prepared to basically spend like 15 to 20K a week on these webbies, so we
Wow.
can just run them up. If this one does well and the December 11th one does well, also too, like they're in the system. Like they'll book one day. Like we're gonna consistently, and I know this because the guy I'm working with is doing this with somebody else too. 10% booking rate. Like we should be like 3 to 4x profitable with the number of registrants. Like, dude, we're getting like almost it's under $4 a lead right now. Like
Wow.
like, and he's updating me all the time. He's sending me voice notes and stuff like that. That we're way off topic. I don't know how we got here, but, we're talking about TikTok. Yeah, no, TikTok, you're not missing much, but I think it's awesome that you're doing threads because, like, yeah, like, not many people are on there, but you basically have monopolized it. Like, in 2 years, if it's still a thing, if I'm assuming if they're growing by what is it, 1,000,000 a month, 1,000,000
A
users a
million a
month?
day right now.
Oh, sorry, 1,000,000 a day.
Yeah, a million
Um,
a day. Every day in November, they had 1,000,000 signups or more.
I mean, Threads isn't gonna be smaller in a year from now than it is today. And if you're the only
Yeah.
one who's invested long enough to make content like this, I feel like you have a solid shot of being, like, the guy, and
Dude,
Chase will
it's
have a
so easy
renaissance the
too.
same.
I mean, bro, I'm literally repurposing content on my account and then from my other accounts. Like, I'm already creating the content on other platforms. It literally takes me to post 3 times a day per account, maybe 10, 15 minutes, like, total, like, including engagement with them and whatnot, like, so I'm spending 10, 15 minutes a day, and, like, it is moving, dude, like, I'm getting hundreds of followers every day across the network, if not more.
And it's just one-off tweets, or you're doing, like, threads? Or not
No, no, actually no, I'm ac yeah, no pun intended, I'm actually just doing, one post things. Um,
is there a
think I mean,
character
every
count limit?
was that?
Is there a character limit?
Bro, look at this. This was from 15 hours ago. That's all it was.
I can't
I don't know
really
if you
it's
can
kinda blurry.
I don't know if you can see, but basically, um, 15 hours ago, this post has 49.9 thousand views, 1,100 likes. It basically is 2
Whoa.
sentences.
Oh my gosh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because you're not getting that on Twitter.
No, not Twitter has been actually doing really well for me, lately, but not like that. I've been having tweets lately do between 30 to 75,000, which is, like, rare. Um,
I'm talking about
today
likes, though. Are you getting, like,
Oh,
1,000 likes on a tweet?
this type of likes on Twitter is not happening. I'm starting to get the
Uh-huh.
views back on Twitter. Like, yesterday I had or today I've had one with 26,000. Yesterday I had one with 52,000, views, not likes. So the engagement is really high on Threads. People are actually engaged and hitting that like and share button.
Dude, yeah, I'm actually ripping on Twitter too these days. It seems like if I have a decent
Same.
idea, it'll get 1,000 likes. That's how I know it's good now. Before it used
Damn.
to be like 3 or 400. I had one that did well.
Oh,
You have a
shoot.
shitty
Yeah, you have
you have a
one
shitty life because some dude told you manifestation is gay and you believed it. Everyone loved
that's a
that
lot of
one.
likes, 1,000 likes. Yeah. Oh, dude, you had another one from 2 days ago, had 2,000 likes. Wow.
Wait, now where's
You're
my platinum one? Let me find it real quick because it was like a couple weeks ago, but it
Well,
was
this one actually leads us, I think, to the next conversation about everything is sales. You should roll your eyes. Everything is actually sales. You had 2,000 likes on that.
yeah, yeah. So I tweeted just for everybody to have it. By the way, I was gonna say this one got 9.1K likes.
What?
The "You're Not Busy Enough" one, but we won't go to that. I
Wow.
tweeted used to hear people say, "Everything is sales," and roll my eyes because it's kind of like a guru-y thing to say, but I said, "But no, everything is literally sales, LOL. Every tiny aspect of your life requires you to inspire, persuade, and align incentives with people. The more you understand this, the easier life will be." So,
Wow.
so here's what we can go into the 3rd topic with because, oh man, I've been violent towards salespeople as of late,
Okay.
and I wanna hear your opinion. So I want people to go into this thinking this is not just Cardinal Mays complaining about bad salespeople. I want you to think, oh, wow, there's a real opportunity for me to make bank in basically any industry.
Okay.
And I should probably go and do that. I'm not like a sales guru. I don't have a sales course to sell you. I wish I did, but I don't. So I'm promoting sales, but I don't have anything to sell you. Okay. My hatred towards sales guys has been a tale as old as time. I just never really internalized it until now. I remember last year I was complaining about this guy who like I asked him to get me a jet um from like Tallahassee to Miami or something like that, and it took him like 2 days to get me a quote, and I wanted to wring his neck over the phone. His name's Yassine, and he works for Privé Jets. You don't have to bleep that out. If you want to book with someone and never get contacted back, then you're good. And then most recently, actually, don't even know if you knew this, but I bought a new TRX, Chase.
Congrats. No, I didn't know that.
Remember
Congrats.
remember how it got stolen in
Yeah, did you ever get to
January?
the bottom of that?
I mean, it's in Africa. That's
Uh,
that's where it is. But I got a new one, and I started looking last Thursday, and
okay.
I called a bunch of dealerships. I got one guy, um, so I called one, the dealership, it was down the street. They said, "Hey, yeah, I'll have a sales guy reach out to you ASAP." And I was like, "Okay." And then they hung up, and they should have just live transferred me. It would have been way better, but whatever. And then I had to wait like 20 minutes for that guy. And then I called another dealership closer to my mom's place in Hamilton, and I got a guy. He was like, "Yeah, I'll find you a TRX." I said I want a black one. I want it under $120,000, and I want it low kilometers. That's all I wanted. And then he was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, for sure. I'll look for it." And then he, like, never took down my information. I didn't even know his name, and then he just hung up, and I was like, I never heard from that guy again. The other guy from the one closer to me, his name was Alex. He reached out. He was, like, my age. He was cool. He found me a great truck. I asked him for a price on it on last Sunday. Still have not heard back on the price. And then there was another guy where I
What's
called back to
what's
the
the
dealer,
deal? They're just not motivated or
but it gets worse. I called back to that other dealership and I said, "Hey, your guy never followed up with me on a TRX that I'm trying to buy at the end of the year for 6 figures. Can you see if you can get me in touch with him so I can get the deal?" Like, you guys don't give a fuck? Like, none of you care that you're like, I'm here. I'm a warm lead trying to buy a truck. I'm serious. And I called. I was like, I gotta be in the CRM. Like, just like connect me to the guy I spoke with on Thursday. This is on Monday of last week
okay.
before I left. And he was like, the lady was like, "Yeah, okay, I don't know who it was, but I'll just give you someone new." So I got connected to Frank. I said, "Frank, how's it going? I'm looking for a TRX, black, under 120K, low kilometers." He was like, "All right, cool. Let me see what I can do." And so he's like, "I'll call you back in 30 minutes, guaranteed, guaranteed." 30 minutes goes by. I hear nothing. So I call Corey, who I've bought multiple cars from before. I would buy
Oh,
again from him, but he doesn't even work for Chrysler. He works for GMC. And so he doesn't have TRXs lying around. And I was like, "Dog, I need a TRX. I know this is in your wheelhouse, but can you find me one?" He's like, "Yes." 10 minutes later, sends me back 3 options. I was like, "Okay, I like option 1. Give me that one." He's like, "All right, cool." It was at a dealership 4 hours north of here. And, I like, what he was gonna do was basically, like, sell it through the dealership that he works for, the GMC was gonna wholesale it to them, and then they were gonna sell it to me for a little juice. I was like, "That's cool, I don't care, I'll pay a little extra." And then Frank calls back 2 hours later as I'm, like, on the way to the airport to fly out of Miami. I'm like, "Frank, what you got?" He's like, "I got an orange one and a red one, and they're both from 2020, and they both have 80,000 kilometers on them." I was like, "Dog, you didn't do
you're way
anything that I
off.
asked you to do." Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, this is all we got in our network." I'm like, "I just talked to another guy who's, like, literally wholesaling it from another dealership. Why can't you guys just do that? There's gotta be other black TRXs lying around." He's like, "Oh, it doesn't work that way. No, no, we can't do that. No, it's against policy." And I actually kinda feel bad because I was mean to him. I was like, "Frank, what do you mean it's against policy?" He's like, "Oh, we just don't do that." I'm like, "Do you understand that I'm here trying to buy a six-figure truck from you? It's the end of the year. You are incentivized to sell vehicles. You make money off of this, and you don't even wanna sell me a truck." He's like, I'm doing everything I can." I'm like, "Frank, you are not a serious person. I don't know how you make money doing this. Goodbye." And I hung up the phone. And,
Wow.
never heard back from him again. And next
Oh,
thing you know,
man.
Corey connects me with the guy, who sold it from Brockville, 4 hours north. I actually ended up going I met him in the middle to pick it up. It was like I drove like 2 hours out to this place called Coburg. But regardless, dude, the whole point is that there are no good salespeople left in this world. I think that there's an opportunity for one, either if you just wanna be a salesperson and just be above average, you will make 6 figures. Like, another example, this condo I'm looking at, I had to yell at another lady over the phone that I feel like this is bad for my soul, but I have to do it. It's an $8,500 a month condo that I'm trying to get, and I'm a serious buyer. I call I put my information in on the site. I didn't get hit up for, like, 2 hours, and so I called them. I'm a lead, I called them. That should never happen. If one of my guys on my sales team took more than 2 hours to hit up an opt-in, I would literally beat them up. Like, that's awful. You never do that. And so I call them and I'm like, "Hey, I'm looking at this place. It's at this address and it's this floor." They're like, "Okay, yeah, we'll have someone reach out to you, like, today or tomorrow." I was like, "Wha Well, hold on, let me stop you.
Where's
You're
the
not reaching
urgency?
out to me tomorrow. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you either reach out to me today or you're losing this deal. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, no tomorrow. You should be having you should have
Help
someone
me
ready to
help
go
you.
now."
Yeah, help me
Yes.
help you. Let's do this.
And then finally this guy from Toronto reached out to me and he said, "When can you come see it?" I said, "Thursday or Friday." He said, "It has to be Thursday because Friday I'm going to United States on vacation." I'm like, "Okay, bro. Whatever the fuck you want." You know what I mean? And so, like, nobody's serious. What do we do about this, Chase? How do we fix this problem?
Dude, that's so frustrating. Yeah, I don't know, but that's frustrating. It's like, dude, I'm ready to buy. Just let me buy. Just say yes. Just tell me where to sign.
And bro, imagine the people that aren't ready to buy. Like, not every lead is like me. Like, I'm weird, bro. When I decide I wanna buy something, it has to happen, like, instantly, and I'm going to do it. Like, I'm committed and I'm ready to go. But most people are like, they need to be educated, they need to be nurtured for years sometimes. Like, these people are just like most leads, like, will just never buy. And so that's why you have guys who sell, like, 2 cars a month. And you have guys like Corey, like my guy, who sells like 2 cars a day. Like, he's just
Yeah,
killing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
We make way more money than all these guys. I bet Frank from Johnson Chrysler makes, maybe 50K a year. I know Corey makes close to 200 because he's
Dude,
just
it's
that much better.
yeah, it's crazy where it's like you literally fell into their lap. They just had to not mess it up, and it was complicated. People just complicate things. It really is that hard. I don't know how to help them, but they just complicate it, and it's a bummer. Because then
So
you
here's
just took so much time and energy out of your day to go get this for yourself, which is frustrating.
here's my call to action. Here's my prescription for people. There are a lot of individuals who are watching this who maybe they're from America, they're from somewhere else,
Yep,
but they're looking for something to do in order to make money. They know they want to make money. They know they're hungry. They know they need to get out of a bad financial spot. They just can't find the vehicle.
yep,
Copywriting is not for everybody. It was for me. I love it because I don't want to talk to people, or at least when I started, I didn't want to talk to people. I just wanted to sit alone in my house and just write
yeah,
some email and work for Chase Diamond. That's structured. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to do anything else. For people that have no other option and they're not, particularly good writers, get into sales and sell anything. If you get into car sales, you're competing against guys that you probably think they're, cutthroat car dealers who are just like slinging left and right and they're going to crush me. Nope. You can get into car sales, pretty much any dealership, even if you work at Honda. Like, you can make 6 figures working at Honda. But here's the thing, the people who take stuff seriously, the people who just try harder than everybody else are the ones that win. It has less to do with experience than you think. It has less to do with like talent than you think. It
yep.
often doesn't have anything to do with that. I think the people that just care the most and are just ruthless and want to make money, those are the people that are going to do well. Money motivated people make the world go round. I wish everyone was as motivated by money as I am because what I can do, we would never have a bad salesperson because I can wave $120,000 in their face for a TRX and I can say, "Hey, I'm ready to go. Do you want to make your $2,000 commission or not?" And they will be like, "Yes, let's go." And they'll do anything to make this happen. If everybody was a motivated salesperson, everything would just happen faster. Deals would get done quicker. People would be happier. No one would have to wait and be patient for this to happen or this. No. And so here's the thing. If you are a young guy or a young lady, or even if you're an old guy or an old lady, and you're not making 6 figures, the only thing you got to do is get into some sort of basic sales gig and just go harder than everybody else. It's an intensity thing. It's not a talent thing. It's an intensity thing. And this is something I needed to hear when I was younger. because I didn't understand that that's how the world worked. I didn't realize all you had to do is try harder and
Yeah.
no one's trying all. I didn't realize that nobody was trying. And so if anybody is actually down to do this, you have a spot and there is a possibility, a
Yep.
very real possibility that you will make six figures. The people that don't make six figures are the ones that just aren't trying. And those are the ones that complain the loudest and it makes you think it's not possible. For you, if you're about it, it's possible.
Dude, love it. Yeah, love it. That's a wrap. That was a great one. Appreciate you, brother. It's
I
good to be
got fired
back.
up, man. My heart rate's in the triple digits.
This was great. Thank you all for listening.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you next episode. Bye bye.
Cheers, brother. Bye.